Hi everyone and welcome to KRYPTALK, that Irish guy that talks about Bitcoin. So Bitcoin crashes by 10% and all of a sudden everyone's like... And in the meantime all the hodlers are like...
Unagi.
Bitcoin isn't dead. It's not. It's fine. Let's find out why. This is episode number 13 and the title of this episode is Bitcoin is not dead. But before we do that, take a quick look at this. Okay, let's get the basics out of the way. So this is the Kraken chart. These are 4 hourly candles and Bitcoin is trading at $11,646. This green horizontal line represents the 10,000 euro level or the $12,000 level. As you can see, the last episode we were trading just underneath that, where we had 2 rejections before that, but now it's after it rallied up there during the week. It was on the 17th of August, the 17th. It rallied up. It was rejected just under 12,500 and then came all the way down to this support line and it recovered back again. Now, if you have a look at that, a lot of people are saying, like, you know, is this the start of a downtrend? If we take a look at that correction from the top all the way down to the bottom, that's 9%. That's it. Like Bitcoin, even in 2017, which is the greatest bull run in Bitcoin history, when it reached its all-time high of $20,000, 30%, 40% corrections, like, they were not uncommon. There was plenty of 10, 20, 30, 40% corrections. So, I mean, like this is just a natural cooling off period. Now, just to put this 10% pullback into perspective, if we go back here, if we zoom out to the weekly chart and we go back in here to mid-March when lockdown started. So if you were to buy down here at the very, very bottom, when everything crashed, you know, not just Bitcoin or cryptocurrencies, but, you know, oil and stocks as well. And if you were to sell today, like that, look at that. That's 200%. That's a 200% increase. If you had the business savvy to buy during that crash, buy when there's blood in the streets, as Warren Buffett puts it, you know, you'd have made 3 times your money. You could have bought a $4,000. You could sell today as, you know, $11.5 or $11,657. So my point is, these 10, 20, 30, even 40% pullbacks, they're healthy. Because what happens is, if something goes parabolic and it just starts increasing very, very quickly and starts pumping really, really quick, you're talking like $1,000, $2,000 a day, like in 2017, it's unsustainable, it's unhealthy. That's how you get a bubble and eventually it's going to get a crash. It's unsustainable growth. Whereas the growth we're seeing now at the moment, it seems a bit more organic, it seems a bit more realistic or sustainable over time than what we saw in 2017. Just going to have a quick look at the Bollinger Bands and the EMA ribbon on the daily. So again, here we are here. It just seems to be, it's not like under, it's under the base of the Bollinger Band, but it's just kind of touching the top of the EMA ribbon. We've seen to have got a bounce. It didn't fall right down through it. It seemed to have got a healthy bounce through it. So we'll see in the next few days if this actually increases and stays above it. So hopefully it will. Having a look at the weekly, we can see we're not only well above the base of the Bollinger Bands there and also above the EMA ribbon. And here we are in the monthly. So again, well above the base of the Bollinger Band and again above the EMA ribbon. So all looking very healthy. Okay, so back out to the 4 hourly candle, and that's what I'm going to finish up on. So there's 2 scenarios that I can see here. The last episode, what we were looking at is Bitcoin got a rejection from here, and I think the episode was filmed just around here before this big pump. And I was saying if it broke the 10,000 level, that's the 10,000 euro level. This is also the $12,000 level. If it broke this level, it should be getting a rally to the upside with a potential price target of $13,000. Now, it did break the level, it did get a rally, but it only got up as far as $10,500 before it was rejected all the way back down here. So if we just take a look at that, like what's actually after happening there. So the Bitcoin price has come up here, got rejected, down here, bounced off support, traded inside for a while, bounced off the top, supported here again, and now we're here. All right, so if this is an ascending channel or rising channel, these do tend to break down bearish. So that's a possible problem. Also, there's a CME gap at 9,600. So, I mean, it would be a good idea to kind of put in a buy order for Bitcoin at 9,600, because I do, a lot of people are saying we're never going to see a Bitcoin under $10,000, but to be honest, I don't believe that. I do think at some point in the future Bitcoin is going to trade under $10,000 again before reaccumulating and blasting off to the upside. It's going to happen.
Yesterday you said tomorrow, so just do it!
Now, I'm not saying that if it breaks out of this ascending triangle, it's definitely going down as far as 9,600. But statistically, these gaps, these CME gaps, they do tend to be filled. No one has explained to me, like I understand how they're formed, but no one has explained to me why they're filled. But statistically, they do tend to be filled. So I think like putting a buy order in at $9,600 levels, it's probably not a bad idea, but again, not financial advice, but that's what I'm more than likely going to do. And again, if it breaks down, it doesn't necessarily have to go down that low. Another thing I want to draw your attention to, this is a low point, this is a higher low, and this is a higher low. So we haven't put in a lower low yet, but people are still losing their minds.
Well, then everyone loses their minds.
The second scenario we're looking at,
Number 2,
is if I get rid of this line and draw this out a little bit further. Okay, so all I've done here is I've extended the green horizontal line, this resistance line. I've dragged it all the way across it, just extended it. And I've also extended the purple support line. So if you look at here, that's a clear ascending triangle forming. Now, let's just say, so here we got a rejection. Here we got a rejection. Let's just say that this was a fake out. Okay, and it didn't, like these are 4-hour candles, so it didn't spend that much time outside. We have support here, came down to support here again. So if this is an ascending triangle, and these are continuation patterns, before the 7th of September, this point here, we should get a breakout to the upside. Okay, not guaranteed, but statistically, ascending triangles tend to break out to the upside. And the target for that breakout would be $15,000. I'm only going to go through one news article today because I want to keep this video nice and short. Also, this article, this report, I saw 3 different articles reporting on the same thing. Right, so this is by Forbes. The headline reads, Bitcoin market is looking like early 2016, just before the Bitcoin price exploded. So Bitcoin and cryptocurrency asset manager Grayscale has said the current Bitcoin market structure parallels that of early 2016 before the Bitcoin price began its historic bull run, meaning the Bitcoin price could be headed sharply higher. So this next quote is by research director for Grayscale, Phil Bonello. Now this is kind of a bit biased because Grayscale actually, they buy Bitcoin and they actually sell it like in a portfolios to people. So Grayscale have actually bought more Bitcoin since the halving in May than coins that have been mined since the halving in May. Right, so because of Bitcoin's unique qualities such as its verifiable scarcity and a supply that cannot be controlled by a central authority, we believe it can be leveraged as a store of value and as a way to escape great monetary inflation. So there's that inflation and scarcity argument again. As a result, the Bitcoin price has climbed to its highest since June last year and sparked a fresh wave of confidence among Bitcoin investors that it could be heading back to its all-time highs. And the last part I'll finish up on, Bitcoin's recent price action really took off from the $10,000 level, indicating market confidence in a big move since the end of July. Joe DePasquale, the chief executive of San Francisco-based Bitcoin and crypto hedge fund Bitbull Capital, said via email, adding Bitcoin's struggle to get firmly past $12,000 hurdle could be necessary for the market to cool down and catch a breath. And that's exactly what's happened. It rallied past $12,000. Remember, that's €10,000. If you haven't watched the last episode, it's done in euro analysis, go back and watch it. It did rally past it. It broke through it. It hit 12,500, and then it crashed down to 11,300 and since recovered a bit. So moving forward, we can expect the market to lean onto the support zone between 11,000 and 11,500 to consolidate and try to push again $12,000. So it could be like that larger ascending triangle that I was having a look at. Anyway, if you got some sort of value from this episode, be sure to like and subscribe. And as usual, shláinte. Bye. Hey, if you're still watching and you know nothing about Bitcoin, or maybe you know a little bit about Bitcoin but you want to learn more, consider watching the videos in the Bitcoin Basics playlist above my head right now. Also consider subscribing to the channel. And if you're on Twitter, that's my handle right there. Thanks.